Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I'm Hamza Idris. On the program this evening, we'll be interfacing with Honorable Muhammad Jamo Yusuf, OON. He's the Special Advisor to the Kano State Governor on National and International Public Relations. He joins us on the program to share his perspectives on a variety of issues in the polity, including the takeoff of the President Bola Tinubu administration, the Kano State Governorship Election Tribunal verdict, among other happenings in the national scene. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Hamza. Viewers,
quite a while.
My greetings to all of you.
Yes, it's been a while when we had you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation commences. Don't go away. Welcome, Honorable Jamo, once again. Yes, you didn't decamp from PDP.
Yeah.
You were considered for appointment by Kano State Governor, who won his election under NNPP. You are also recognized by outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari of APC. What is the magic? What is playing, positive for you?
Well, first of all, let me start by congratulating Nigerians, especially from all walks of life and different divides, for the sustainability of democracy in Nigeria. That is a beautiful thing to always celebrate. If you notice the happenings around African countries, whereby these days the trajectory of coup after coup happenings. So with that, we have no option but to celebrate what we have and continue enjoying it and continue doing everything humanly possible to sustain and keep democracy flourishing. Because as bad as democracy is, it is better than the worst system of military at any given time. Your question over me remaining in a particular political party, taking up...
Oh, you have the count?
No. Remaining in a particular political party and then taking up appointment with another political party and equally benefiting a national honor from a president who rules from another political party just goes to show that in life, just try to be consistent in whatever you believe. And for as long as what you believe is about the progress about this country and the progress of people of this nation, everything about life and the road to success is just, let me put it in this particular way, it's just one big cycle. Okay. And remain where you are within that cycle. The road to success and the path to success always cross, and as they keep crossing along the line, they come back to that particular spot where you are. So just believe in what you believe and stand firmly by your belief. You don't have to keep moving to the left and keep going to the right. I think that is just it.
Since 1999, have you changed?
I have been consistent in one particular place.
PDP.
Yes.
Now, it's dramatic that you accepted to be a special advisor, national and international public relations. You looked for it, or it
well,
came?
Okay. So let me tell you, okay. No matter the political party that I belong, I still belong to that political family.
The Red Cap.
The Red Cap political
family. The Red Cap bearers. The Red Cap bearers. We will get to that.
Yes, I still belong to that big political family, and the NNPP that is ruling Kano State is highly dominated by a lot of people who are strong believers in the Red Cap movement.
Konkosia.
The Konkosia movement.
Okay, what is it, maybe before we go deep into other issues, what is it, your portfolio, national and international public relations, special advisor?
Yeah.
You kicked up your office after the appointment? Have you started doing certain things?
Yes, of course. National and international public relations is about promoting the government and the good people of Kano State in any area, especially at the national level, at the international level, where we find ourselves. And you know, the system of governance, especially the state government has a big role that they can play, but they cannot do it alone. Because the challenges that we are having in Nigeria up to today, no state government has been able to really find its feet. All of them have been facing different challenges one after the other. And a lot of the states are relying a lot on what comes from the national and at the same time, the other contributions that are coming in from the international level. So it's all about being at the center of it, to make sure that you address and advise the government on how best they can be able to harness working relationship between them and the national part of the government, and then at the international level. And this is exactly what we have been doing. We have been promoting cohesion between the state government and the federal government, and trying to see how we can be able to make the international community see a lot of reason why they should come into Nigeria, and when they come into Nigeria, why they should visit Kano, because Kano is a place that has always been a place that has been so welcoming for people. In the 60s, in the 70s, a lot of people that come from outside the country to invest, in search for investment, Kano has always been one of those destinations for them. And I can tell you this, that in the 70s and the early 80s, Kano was boasting of over 1,000 factories at that particular time.
1,000?
Over 1,000
in
working.
the 80s?
In the 80s. But today, I can tell you that the number of working factories within Kano are not up to 100. So a lot of things have gone wrong, and these are part of the things that we want to bring to bear with the current administration in Kano, so that things can be able to change and job opportunities can start coming back.
Some will say, if maybe at the takeoff of Governor Kabiru Yusuf, right?
Yeah.
There were 100 or 150 industries.
Yeah.
Most likely they have been depleted to 70 or 80 because of the way he bulldozed the whole metropolis.
Yeah.
Could that be true?
Well, I don't really understand or know what you mean by how he bulldozed the whole place.
I mean, the bringing down of plazas, you know.
When you are talking about demolitions, you are just talking about 5 categories of demolition, or 5 particular places that were demolished in Kano. And you are talking of Daula. Let's start by that. Daula was a part of the Kano State University of Science and Technology. The former administration demolished a university and converted it to a shopping mall. And then the administration of Abba Kabir Yusuf said, no, you cannot demolish a university and convert it to a shopping mall. And that shopping mall, which was under construction, was demolished to give way for the university to come back. That is number one. Number two, it was the Eid praying ground, a historical Eid praying ground, an Eid praying ground that has been identified by even UNESCO as one of the most historical places around the world. This is an Eid praying ground that has been dated back to the Emir of Kano, Rumfa. That is around 500 AD and something like that. And that particular praying ground was converted into a shopping mall. And Governor Abba felt that this is wrong, this is historical, apart from even an Eid praying ground in every society, because that is part of the area where the Kano city is densely populated. There can even be disasters, there can be anything. You need a place where people can be able to come and gather, apart from even the prayer itself. So you need, that is why every developed nation, they always reserved parks and places that can be kept for everything, for the good side of life or even for the bad side of life. But this is a place where people come to pray, and then this place was converted to a shopping mall. And governor said, no, we cannot convert where people are meant to pray into a complete shopping mall. So it was brought down. so that people can continue praying. And even apart from prayers, it can be a place whereby in case of any disaster or anything happening to Kano, people can go there and take refuge before help can come. We don't pray for any disaster. We don't pray for any other thing to happen. That is number 2. Number 3, it was the university. It was Kano State Polytechnic. It was inside the Kano State Polytechnic. The state government then decided to convert into a residential houses. And even when they converted it to the residential houses, you still have some of the laboratories and some of the college's infrastructures there. So you had students going to classes. They have to be passing by residential houses. And this is part of the fence, inside the fence of that College of Education. And then the governor said, no, we must convert this into what it was meant to be. And it was restored. And then part of the buildings, especially those that were under construction, were brought down. The other one, which is even the most interesting one, is the Kano City Wall. If you go to Kano State, you will see where the German government, all the way from Germany, came to Kano and even give a donation, because the Kano City Wall is another place that has been identified by UNESCO as one of the monuments that have been identified around the world. And they came and gave a lot of contribution for part of the city wall to be brought back. And then this current government, and under advice by a lot of international community, because a lot of people, when they visit Kano, the first thing they will tell you is, we want to see the city wall, we want to go to the Emir's palace, we want to go. These are places that we can preserve for history, and even the state government can be able to make money, and even the city people can be able to make money. When people come to visit these places, they can be able to see people selling things, and people can buy. And these places was brought down and was converted to shopping malls. Do we need shopping malls everywhere? And then the governor said, no, we have to bring it down and continue the city wall so that we can preserve our history. So these are the things that the governor brought down. The governor did not go to the market. The governor did not go to the market. The governor did not go to residential houses. The governor did not go anywhere.
So you, his advisor, you all supported what he did?
Well, I'm telling you, I have no regrets being part of this government.
And you will continue to defend
when they took this decision. Okay. I have already defended it now.
Okay, but people believe some that he did some of these corrections with contempt. Do you agree that he actually overreacted?
I don't know what you mean, sorry, by overreaction here, and I don't know what you mean by contempt. Look, let me tell you, decisions, when you want to take decisions which are going to be decisions in the best interest of people, just do it as government. Let me give you a slight example. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into government and the reality dawned on him that removal of subsidy is a must, it was done. Whether it was with contempt or without contempt, it was done day one.
But people are suffering the brunt now.
Well, people can go through whatever they are going through, sadly, and we regret and we sympathize with myself and any other person that goes through this. But sometimes decisions of government, when they are taken, you need to look deep inside. Were they done in the best interest of the people? This is a subject for another day.
Yes, and towards the end of the program, we'll go back to that. But still in Kano, you know, it is in the midst of these decisions being taken by Governor Abba that the tribunal struck and, you know, sack him from office. How did you receive the judgment of the tribunal?
Well, that judgment was received sadly because we know how promising Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf is. The aspect of demolition is just one little aspect. When we talk about what Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf have been doing in his last 100 days up to the point when the tribunal took decision, he has done quite a lot. When you go to Kano, you see how much he has been intensifying, bringing the city into becoming one of the cleanest cities in the world. And apart from that, in the area of education, the governor is doing marvelous work. By next month, a large number of Kano indigents who happen to be students have already gotten their scholarship. and they will start leaving to different cities around the world to go and study. And at the area of the primary education, the governor has already started programs for the school feeding, for free uniforms at the primary school level, to encourage more enrollment into the primary and secondary schools and enhancing the quality of the education. When you go to the hospitals, you see how much he has been working day and night in transforming the health sector, yes, so that our people can be able to receive quality healthcare delivery.
Yes, those are achievements, but the tribunal, you know, when it came, it says that he is not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
3 cases. Yeah. I mean, they all favored APC.
Yeah.
Overvoting, invalid votes, and not being a member of the NNPP at the time. Maybe we should take one after the other, whether you have something to say on the issue of not being a member of NNPP.
Well, it is tried in law. This has been settled by the Supreme Court several times, that no political party has the power or right to look into the activity of another political party. The only thing another political party can do is only to be an onlooker to the activities of another political party.
Not meddlesomeness.
Not meddlesome. In fact, they call it busybody, and that is how the Supreme Court justices describe it. You are nothing but being a busybody in that particular aspect. So what I'm telling you, even the judge, in her own wisdom, she has already said she does not have jurisdiction to talk about that matter. But for reasons best known to her, she went ahead to share her own opinion, saying that she feels that if it is for her, he does not belong to a political party.
But could that be out of anger on the side of the judge? Because, you know, there was one of the judges, you know, who also concurred with the general agreement, where he described you, members of the NNPP, as red cap, whereas violent and terrorist cult, bandits and bitter losers.
Yeah.
All maybe, I don't know, maybe tied to the threat by members of NNPP. I'm not putting you there, even though you have sympathy for the party.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Even if you put me, I belong, and I strongly belong to the Konkosia family, and I will tell you this thing without mincing word. That statement the judge made was an unfortunate statement. It's a sad statement. Lord Denning, one of the greatest jurists of our time, in one of his books, which I happen to have read, when describing how jurists are supposed to perform, the ethics of jurisprudence and the ethics of how they are supposed to conduct their daily lives, emotions are never allowed to be what are supposed to take over any judge whenever he is taking a decision. But sadly, that particular judge was taken by emotion, and he went against the teachings of great jurists like Lord Denning when he came out openly and publicly to condemn, not only condemn, to threaten and even call people like terrorists, cults, and even bandits. That is an uncalled for statement, an aberration, a sad statement, and a statement which I feel anybody who is a right-thinking person that belongs to the family of Konkosia, that judge needs to be reported to the NJC.
But Jamu, if you were in his position or in their position, how will you react? Here we are, sent to decide a case, and then a serious threat from a commissioner.
Yeah. Where is the commissioner today? Where is the commissioner today?
Maybe it was an afterthought removing him.
Well, he has been removed. The issue is whoever made a threat against the judges has been removed. So that shows that it is not a position of the government. And just for that, that governor is supposed to be commended for that action he has taken. Not to condemn everybody for such statement of a few persons. Just because 1, 2, 3, 4 persons have made a statement does not warrant a total condemnation. What he's supposed to have looked into is what are the other members of this Konkosia doing. You will see them. They are lecturers in different universities around Nigeria. Who are the members of the Konkosia? They are people who believe in doing things upright, who believes in righting wrong, who believe in taking the nation from one step of unwarrantedness to the next step of prosperity. This is it. That is the whole thinking behind this red card. It's all about service to the people. It's all about doing the right things. It's all about giving to the people what belongs to the people. So the judge should have gone out of his way to read and even understand what Konkosia is all about.
You have opportunity now. You are voicing out your understanding of what transpired.
Yeah.
But judges don't have this privilege. Don't you think that during judgment, that is when they can now voice out their anger, voice out their feelings, make, their own side of the story known to the public. And that was why maybe that judge used that opportunity to also voice out that Konkosia followers are not actually civilized people.
Well, that is his own opinion, and he has said his own opinion, and I'm saying this message to him and to any other person who believed in what the judge says. Konkosia people are civilized people. They are peace-loving people. They are people who have always stood by being right and doing the right things. Just recently in Kano State, the Konkosia people have always been the victims who have been attacked in several instances. And in 2019, the current governor, Abba Kabir Yusuf, won his election, and through the cuts, after he won the election, inconclusive was declared, and all manners of thuggery and whatever was unleashed, and that election was taken by force. But what happened? The Konkosia people went to the court, and they lost at the first court, they lost at the second court, they lost at the third court, and they believed and said, okay, we will wait till after 4 years and we'll go for this thing again. There was no violence. There was nobody that was hurt because whatever like that nature has happened. And even now, with what happened, even with the miscarriage of justice that happened in Kano, who was hurt, who was threatened? Nothing. The Konkosia people or the Kano state government will appeal this judgment at the Court of Appeal. And we are so optimistic that by the grace of the Almighty God, the Court of Appeal will find more than one reasons to believe that whatever happened at the lower court was nothing but a miscarriage of justice.
While trying to appeal, some people, Jamo, have this feeling that the solidarity which NNPP Konkosia got in 2019, and then even during the 2023 election, did not manifest in the aftermath of the tribunal judgment, meaning that maybe certain goodwill has been lost because of actions and inactions of the governor. Could that be true?
Well, I do not agree with you. I believe that there is a miscarriage of judgment. There is a miscarriage of justice. I continue saying this again and again and again and again. I'm a layman. I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you this. I have read the Electoral Act, and under Section 62, subsection 2, when you read that section, you can see clearly what it says about ballot papers is that any ballot paper does not bear the official mark of INEC, and then the PU, the presiding officer, was able to count it, and agents of political parties were there. There was no objection that was raised, and that presiding officer finds it worthy within himself that that ballot paper belongs to the body of ballot papers that he has, so he can be able to count that as right. So I am sure that section and several other sections, because I've even read the petition and the pleadings of the APC, and the judgment that they got at the end of the day was in variance to the rules of engagement in area of dispensation of justice, and then finally declaring another person who did not participate in the real petition. He wasn't a petitioner, he does not participate, and then you were able at the end of the day to declare him. That is another ground of miscarriage of justice. And I feel it is not about goodwill. If we're talking about goodwill, I am telling you, go to the city of Kano or just move around any airport or anywhere you go with Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf. You will see how he's being loved by people.
You think if elections were to be held today, he has chances of winning?
He will win his election, just the same way that he won in 2019
You're sure?
and won in 2023. He will win. He will win. There is no doubt about that. He will win again.
And even though you are not one of the lawyers, but you are one of the key stakeholders in Kano, other people also believe that NNPP shot itself. The candidates, the spiritual leader, they all, lump into one force and shot themselves by not, diligently prosecuting their case. For instance, some of the issues, very few people expected the issue of these invalid votes, around almost 165,663 will come up.
Yeah.
Why are your people behaving that way, believing that like they are supernatural human beings, that a decision has been taken and nothing will happen to us?
Okay, let me tell you one thing. Number one, this issue of ballots, or 165,000 ballots, these issues came up after APC have closed their case. The governor has closed his case.
I mean NNPP.
Yes. NNPP have closed their case. I started by APC.
Yes.
Because the petitioners were the first to close their case.
Okay.
And then NNPP and the governor closed their case. And then INEC closed their case until after all the cases have been closed. Then out of the blues, from the bar, these ballot papers were presented.
You mean they were not there at the preliminary stage?
They were not there at the preliminary stage.
Then who sneaked? Is it somebody smuggled them or what happened?
They brought them through the bar. When I say from the bar, that means a lawyer presented them after all cases have closed. So there was no chance for either INEC or either NNPP or the governor to even view these documents when they were presented. And there have been several judgments by the Supreme Court where documents that were submitted from the bar were rejected by tribunals, by Court of Appeal, and upheld by Supreme Court, because presenting any document through the bar is as good as dumping the documents on the court. But in her own wisdom, the judge decided to accept documents that were submitted from the bar. So that is why I'm telling you it is going to be a very interesting case, going to watch how the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court will handle this particular case. It's an interesting case.
So, besides the issue of not being a member, you truly believe that Kabiru Yusuf is a member of NNPP, and that will not stand, even though you have
the issue is what the Constitution says. Part of the eligibility of any person to be a candidate is, number one, you must belong to a political party. Number two, you must be sponsored by a political party. Will a political party sponsor that who is not its member? A political party cannot just meet an alien and sponsor you. You must be a member of the political party for the political party to send your name to INEC. Who sends the name to INEC? It is the political party that sends names to INEC.
But the APC, when they subpoenaed the documents from INEC, his name wasn't there as member of the NNPP. Maybe he joined the party ahead of time?
Well, political parties have the right to keep updating their membership register, and then there is nowhere in law where, up to today, I have seen where it is mandatory for your name to be in the register. Peter Obi versus Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The judges, I remember Justice Samani and Justice Abba Mohammed, have talked clearly about this matter, whereby they gave a clarity of that, how that happens, after giving a distinction that another political party cannot even look into the aspect of another political party. They went ahead and said issues of political party can only be challenged by the political party itself, meaning that a member of that political party, meaning that only a father can be able to say, I disown my son. Another person cannot say, I disown my son. Only the father can be able to disown his son. And NNPP is not saying Abba Kabir Yusuf is not its member. So why are you crying foul over what does not concern us? So this issue is settled in law. This issue is settled in reality, and it is not even going to be an issue that we should continue talking about it.
So you are satisfied? You don't have any fear?
Even the judge, she said she does not have the power to decide on it.
All right, thank you.
But she just wanted to make her own personal opinion over it. And her personal opinion here does not count.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jam.
Yeah.
Please would you to hold your breath?
Thank you.
As we go on break.
Thank you.
Viewers, we'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
That's great.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. Still have in the studio Muhammad Jamu Yusuf, ON, Special Advisor, National and International Public Relations to Governor Kabiru Abba Yusuf of Kano. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'll take you to the center now. I think we have spoken a lot about Kano. You belong to the same camp with Wike,
yeah,
the FCT minister.
Yeah.
And he is now the minister of the FCT, and there is outcry everywhere. Some will say, like you and like him, you tend to be troublemakers of sorts. I don't know. You remain in one party, you refuse to go out, and then you also disturb people in the other parties, even though you have some differences with him. What is your take on his approach to governance so far?
Wike, Nyesom, Ezenwo, or Ezemburutu, these are all his names, is an amazing fellow who has been able to carve a niche for himself in politics in modern Nigeria. I don't see Governor, or rather, let me say the Minister Wike, as a troublesome person. But he is somebody who believes in things must always be done rightly, either within the political party space or even within governance. When you go to his state rivers, the only thing you will see is landmarks of achievements, and he has left his foot on the gold and the sands of history. And even coming here to Abuja, I'm very optimistic he will carry that same system and that spirit of development to the Federal Capital Territory.
So some members of the party are still calling for his expulsion,
yeah,
that he should leave.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they are extending that call on you, remaining in PDP, taking appointment in another political party.
There is no law in PDP that stops anybody from taking appointment in another political party. The same way when Mr. Wike came out to tell Nigerians that if anybody within the PDP feels threatened by him taking political appointment in the government of APC, that all the PDP governors were given 10 slots of positions in the APC government for them to nominate people that will represent from their own political party in the government of APC. So virtually, if Wike is guilty of committing a crime, then any single PDP governor has committed that same crime because they have nominated and they have submitted the names. So, awaiting the appointments. So either the names have been appointed or the names will never be appointed, but I'm telling you that all PDP governors have submitted names for appointment. And by mere doing that, that means all of them belong to the same category and class of Mr. Ezenwo Wike.
You have any regret supporting the G5?
Nope.
Up till now?
Up to now, I will never regret supporting the G5. Rather, the people who do not believe in what the G5 stood for at that particular time must be the people who should be regretting that if they knew, they should have aligned with the G5 instead of going their way and believing and thinking that the G5 could not do anything for them. Because just imagine if the G5 have been believed in that particular time and a window to work together was given to G5 so that they will work together, who will have been in government by now? That's the truth.
You think PDP will have been in government?
PDP would have been in government. But at that time, they didn't believe. When we were telling them, we were coming on these programs with you, Alhaji Hamza, we were telling them that don't let G5 go away. Keep us together. Let's go together as one political family. They didn't hear at that time, and today who lost out?
Will you say with all sense of responsibility that some of you were not induced, including Wike, your humble self, and others, to actually fight, with that umbrella, G5, to undermine PDP?
Well, I don't think there is anything that you can call inducement. Several of us that believe in the G5 at that particular time, we all had individualistic disagreements with the political party and collective at the same time disagreement with the political party. The main members of the G5 at that time, most of them, their disagreements were more on why shouldn't the South have the national PDP chairman at that particular time. That was the only thing they were asking for. And people like us were angry because we were being maltreated at the zonal level. And that was it. We were not given the chance just over a simple chair of the national vice chairman of the PDP.
That was the seat you sought.
That was the seat. They maligned us. They disagreed. They called us names. They did several things. We advised them. We told them the way to go. They did not listen to us that time. And we all came together, and under one umbrella, we formed the G5. And with the G5, we did what we had to do. What did we do? We were just a pressure group saying things must go rightly. And they didn't believe us. And today, Nigerians listened to us when we were singing our songs. Little did we know that as we were singing the songs of justice, Nigerians were dancing to those songs of justice. And at the end of the day, Nigerians did justice.
Now, with the way some of you are taking appointments, now, especially from the APC, you didn't take any, even though you have been honored by the APC. Will PDP be alive by 2027 to witness another round of election?
Well, for now, litigations are still ongoing, and we're at the Supreme Court. So I think the best time that we can start talking about PDP, APC, or any other political party, what happens from now to 2027, I think we should allow the courts to finish their own assignments, and once the courts have finished their own assignment, from that time we will start understanding each and every person that we see today calling themselves as leaders and members of the PDP still going to remain with the PDP, or are they going to run away back into their shells? And then from there, the real owners of PDP can start to reimagine. And then after that, we will know if it is a party that we can mold back into an election winning party for the future. But for now, we are just onlookers to the happenings and activities. Don't forget, we were in that party, we and the members of the G5, but we were not believed in, we were not trusted, we were not carried along, we were called names and things like that. So now, we are watching for the court processes to finish. Once the court processes finish, then we will see how many of those leaders who never believed in us that time will still stick and remain within this party, or they will run away and leave the space for us.
All said, do you still have sympathy for candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, who is now in US? I mean, his councillors are all there, trying to get some documents against President Tinubu. Do you have some sympathy for his travels?
Well, I have sympathy for each and every candidate who has run election, who has won and who has lost election, because it is a very, 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 very devastating period, and it is a learning curve, because winning election and losing election, both of them are learning curves. So I think lessons has been learned. So it is not even for it's not even something that we should even be sympathizing, because they have learned one lesson ahead of us.
He has been learning since 2007.
This is a new lesson.
Or 2003.
This is a new lesson. This is a new lesson. This is a new lesson. It's like going to school and running through one course and then passing it and then going back to school again for another specialized program. So this is just another program, and all I will say is kudos to him, because he has learned one lesson more than you and I, who did not run for that election.
But it's like Atiku is repeating crisis. I mean, he appears to be the most litigated politician in Nigeria, going to court again and again with no certificate of return.
Yeah. Well, anyway, even if there is no certificate of return, maybe one day, you never know, his name will be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
As the most litigated politician.
And that's a very big certificate. We will celebrate that certificate.
Ajamo, do you believe that if not for the activity of your principal, the man you so much believe in, Rabiu Kwankwaso, Atiku would have been the president?
Well, these are the things that I have kept saying. These are the things we kept saying, that this party, our party, had everything it has to win election in Nigeria. But out of the blues, this party became antagonistic against Engineer Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso till he departs the party. This party became antagonistic towards Governor Nyesom Wike and the other 4 governors until they folded their arms. So this is it. This party turned a listening ear to Mr. Peter Obi until he moved to the Labour Party. Just imagine if this party has been able to keep Engineer Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, keep Mr. Peter Obi, and keep the G5 together. Where will the party be today? You can answer that for me.
Our viewers will answer that.
Okay, but, viewers, answer that.
Yes, and it is. Do you believe that Kwankwaso has a big bruise now? He was left with a big bruise because he wasn't considered for a ministerial position and something like that.
Well, I don't think Kwankwaso ran to be the president of Nigeria so that he will come from the back and become a minister.
You don't believe
he ran to be the president of the Federal Republic.
But he won only one state.
Well, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step.
Some believe that, assuming he didn't contest it for that position, his votes will have gone to Atiku of sort.
Who said so?
Nigerians, many of them.
Well, the voters decided they wanted Kwankwaso. That 1-point-something million people that came out and voted for Engineer Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso have been the people that have been calling on him, run, run, run. And he didn't disappoint them. Neither did they disappoint him. They came out en masse and they voted for him. It's another experience. It's another learning curve for him too.
So, I asked you this question long ago. I can't remember exactly when, but during one of our interactions here, that Kwankwaso left behind some of you, his trusted allies in PDP, hoping to return to the party because it has more structure than NNPP. And you are still in PDP. He's in NNPP. I mean, he's in NNPP, of course. Now, with what is happening, from all indications, he might likely go back to PDP. Is that correct?
I don't agree with you on that. I totally do not agree with you that His Excellency...
It's a question, actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a question. I do not agree with that question. He never kept anybody behind because he wanted to have an opening door where he will come back. Because if he had wanted that to happen, when the executive led by Mr. Sagayi went to him and said they are no longer willing or interested to remain with the PDP, he will have begged them to say, no, stay there because I still want a complete structure to still remain in the PDP so that any day I want to come back, I can easily come back and take my rightful place. But that was not it. He welcomed them with open hands, and they joined him in the New Nigeria People's Party. So I am telling you, I doubt if he had that interest, but maybe people like us one day, you never know, if we can be able to right the wrongs within the political party. We might be able to call on to him and say, maybe come back, but I doubt if he will want to.
You didn't have that interaction with him?
I have not had that interaction with him, and not even in the nearest future do I want to have that interaction with him.
Will you recommend him to have another political party, going by the crisis he's facing in NNPP now?
Well, what is happening within the NNPP, I do not really understand it very well, so I'm not in the best of position to say what is happening. Maybe after this, I will go and make some findings to understand what is happening within the NNPP, and in the future, if we have an opportunity to talk again, I can be able to respond to that. But I don't know for now what is his interest as regards being either remaining in the NNPP or one day moving to another political party. I doubt if he will want to move.
Okay, finally, what will you say about his actions and inactions ahead of the election? Meeting with Tinubu, now that government has been constituted, he is facing crisis in NNPP, you are facing another trouble in Kano. What will be the ultimate result of all these things?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I strongly believe the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court will right the wrongs done by the tribunal. And then Abba Kabir Yusuf will remain the elected governor of Kano State, and he will do quite a lot to revamp the socio-economic and all other aspects of Kano State and make Kano a model city for others to follow. And that will be a stepping stone for Engineer Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, because somebody who has equally grown under his own political tutelage has been able to do it right in Kano, and a lot of people would believe more in him and have more regards and more respect for him in the future. We don't know what the future holds, but we just hope and we pray that the future is even brighter and better for his likes.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Jamo Yusuf, for a Special Advisor, National and International Public Relations to Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State. Well, thank you for coming to the program.
Thank you so much.
And hoping to have you again.
Thank you so much. And I will be more than interested to be with you here again. Viewers, my best wishes to all of you.
And that's a wrap on today's package. Hoping you enjoy. Join us tomorrow for another interesting edition. And we keep reminding you that on Friday, we'll open our line for you to comment on national issues. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.